Welcome to
The Dark Files. I'm Emily Sweaters.
I'm Kasie Cardigan, and we're back.
We're back.
It's been a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry guys. I'm sure everyone was on the edge of their seat wondering where we were. But I had a family situation come up that kind of didn't really put me in the mood to podcast. So we took some time off. Hopefully you listened to our side slice.
Yes, on amputee animals.
Yeah. And so hopefully we'll start doing more side slices, and those will be on our Patreon.
Yes.
Emily and I are getting lots of attention about the McRib coming back.
Oh, yeah, we are. So I think as part of that, we're going to film ourselves eating a McRib.
I'm not excited about that.
And put it on the Patreon. I thought about driving through McDonald's and getting one before you got here.
No, I don't know.
Maybe we'll get just one and we can each eat half of it, since you're probably not going to like it.
I am definitely not going to like it. But I'm going to try and keep an open mind.
Yeah.
I've been craving restructured meat all day. So, no, I'm kidding. But no, guys, it's so funny, and it makes us happy that you guys are obviously listening to us, because then, like, we've gotten a couple of different, like, text messages from friends or tagged on Facebook, and it's like, the McRib is back.
Yes.
So we are aware.
Yeah, and we will be enjoying one, and you can pay us money
to watch me eat it in disgust.
Yeah, you're going to want to watch Kasie eat it.
Yeah, because, okay, guys, so I got to Emily's house, and she's like, oh, I have these new chips, sea salted caramel Lays, which I obviously got pissed, because, you know, I want my chocolate-covered Lays that they refused to bring back. So I tasted one, and I literally...
like, immediately.
I literally could not finish the chip. I spit it out. I thought it was so disgusting.
I think they're pretty good.
Well, this is going to be the equivalent of how our McRib goes.
Yeah. I'll be like, oh, it's whatever.
I'll be like... I'm gonna die. But, yeah.
So I did have something to add. So
yeah,
my friend Ryan, I know him from my Remke days.
Okay.
He listened to our side slice about animals, and I guess we were talking about like how it says that I was saying that most animals, if they lose a leg, they can like recoup. But then we said, what about horses? Because you've always heard that like if a horse breaks his leg,
we did say that.
So he sent me a Facebook message and said, if a horse breaks a leg, it's almost impossible to recover from. They have very weak blood flow to their legs, so if a horse gets an infection in the lower part of the leg, they usually don't survive.
Oh, thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, so thank you.
That's really sad, though.
It's very sad.
I mean, we are the Dark Files.
We are the Dark Files.
But maybe the Dark-ish Files.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan, from Remke.
He didn't work at Remke. He was, like, friends with people that worked at Remke. He'd always come in and, like... shoot the shit with us.
Nah, he's still going to be called Ryan from
Ryan from Remke.
Yeah. I have to plug my friend, Jessica. She started a blog, and I'm saying this because she started a blog, so I feel like she'd be okay with saying it. So Jessica recently had two twin girls and delivered them stillborn.
Aww.
So she is going through a lot, but she decided to start a blog to help her cope with it and to help other mothers that have been mothers and fathers that have been through this. So if you want to check it out, it's called purposedpain.org. And if we remember, I'll try and have Emily put the link on our post when we post for this episode. So it should be on there. But she's such a strong person, and she has a lot of great things to say. And things like that happen a lot more frequently than we see. So I think it's great to get out and talk about it. So that's purposedpain.org, I think. I'll double check that and let Emily know.
Yes.
All right, but Emily, you've already cracked your claw.
I know. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So I'm going to do mine.
Okay.
You want to make the noise with me?
Yeah. Crack that claw.
Okay. I haven't had a White Claw. That's a lie. I had one last week. We were talking before we started how Emily's been Snapchatting that she was drinking the bottom of the barrel, the grapefruit.
Ruby grapefruit.
Which my friend Dana was like, I like that one.
I've had many people message me about this, and somebody, this girl I know from Lexington, her name's Shay. Okay. She was like, do you like watermelon more than ruby grapefruit?
Yes.
100%.
100%.
And she's like, well, most of my friends don't like watermelon. And I'm like,
I wouldn't say watermelon's my favorite. Like, my favorites are black cherry and mango.
yes, mine too. I think it's black cherry, mango, watermelon, raspberry.
Oh, see, I would switch those two.
Tangerine? I like
I
tangerine.
don't know if I've had the tangerine.
Oh, I got one.
Well, I like mango. But anyway, so yeah, when I heard my sad family news, I was telling Emily when I heard my family news that day, I went home and the only drink we had, I was like, I need a White Claw. Today's been a horrible day. And all we had was a ruby grapefruit.
Oh, it's the worst.
Oh, it's the worst. All right, but I guess we should get started.
Yeah, so what are we doing today? I don't know.
So, like I said, guys, we had some family situation happen. I don't know how this is going to turn out because my headspace has really been kind of there. But, so bear with me. But today, we are going to talk about the Alaska Triangle.
The Alaska Triangle?
Yes.
Is that like the Bermuda Triangle?
Yes. So this came to me when I was in Vegas a couple weeks ago, and I was up because of the time change. And the Alaska Triangle show is a show either, I think it's on the History Channel or the Discovery Channel. And I was like, what is this? So I spent time researching it. Okay. First, my sources are a bunch of random shit. It's a YouTube channel called Top Mysteries, a website called Hyperion.com, Discovery.com, StrangeOutdoors.com, AnchoragePress.com, LegendsOfAmerica.com, and probably some random one that I forgot because it was all over. So when I started this, I thought it was going to be much more like basic than it became. And then, so there's a couple of different stories, and I'm just going to jump into it. Okay. So when most...
Oh, yeah, get
Hang on, sorry. Barb is attacking my coat, everybody.
Oh my god, Barb.
Barb! All right. She always attacks me.
She don't take it personally.
I don't. I feel like I'm in the location that's easy to attack.
Yeah, she attacks everybody.
I'm going to take it as a sign of love.
Yeah, she just likes to play.
Yeah,
She thinks your jacket's like a
What is a fun
wildebeest or
texture?
something. Yeah.
From Target. Anyway, okay. So, when most people hear of a suspicious, mysterious triangle on which people and things disappear, they would think of the
Bermuda Triangle.
Bermuda Triangle.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yes, but there's another triangle that is maybe more mysterious. It is the Alaskan Triangle.
Intriguing.
I know. So the Alaskan Triangle spans hundreds of miles. It was first named the Alaskan Triangle in 1972, which is a story that I'll explain in a minute.
Okay.
So the triangle connects the largest city of Anchorage in the south to Juneau in the southeast panhandle to Barrow, a small town on the north coast. So it's like Anchorage, Juneau, Barrow. It's like this triangle. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm making a triangle.
She's making a triangle.
With my finger. Okay. So the area within the triangle is made up of forest, desolate tundras, icy peaks, the Denali National Park, and a couple of other national parks that I just kind of didn't feel like typing.
Okay.
Because it was on a YouTube, and I was going back and forth, and then my parents were texting me. It was the whole thing.
Okay.
Anyway, so there are numerous mysteries that occur within the triangle, similar to the Bermuda Triangle.
Okay.
But most commonly with the Alaskan Triangle, it's like disappearances, deaths, and there's aliens.
Oh.
You love some aliens.
Very fun.
So here's some fun facts about the triangle.
Okay.
Fun facts about the triangle. Okay. This is a quote. It is estimated that in the last 100 years, the mysterious region has caused the destruction of 75 airplanes, sunk hundreds of boats and ships, causing more than 1,000 deaths.
Damn.
So not really a fun fact, but a fact.
Yes. Yeah.
And
just
then,
a fact.
according to Strange Outdoors, this is a quote, statistically, Alaska has more annual missing person reports than anywhere else in the country.
Really?
Which is they have twice the national average. It also has the highest number of missing people who are never found.
Oh, good.
So Alaska's like
Is that
really
just because there's
promising.
like a lot of
I think
like tundra and people
Yeah.
go out like hiking and climbing mountains and shit?
probably. So I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
We'll kind of get to that. I don't
Okay.
know. In 2007, for instance, 2,833 people were reported missing. And when compared to the state's comparatively low population of around 670,000 at the time, that equates to about 4 in every 1,000 people are missing.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's just in the state of Alaska.
I know, but still, that's a lot.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. Okay, so that's just kind of some background on the dark file that is the Alaska Triangle. So then when you start looking into Alaska Triangle, a lot of like bloggy things come up, which is honestly where I got a lot of it from.
Right.
But so it really, the number one story that sticks out is the reason why it's called the Alaska Triangle, or why it became so mysterious.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you that story. And then I'm going to tell you another story that happened in the triangle and kind of reasons why things might happen in the triangle.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say there are a lot of other missing cases reports and missing planes and things like that. So there's a whole TV show about the Alaska Triangle. So if there's so much more information if anybody wanted to research it. But these are just the main big ones.
Okay.
So on October 6th, 1972, a plane carrying House Majority Leader Hale Boggs and Alaska Congressman Nick Begich, Russell Brown, and their Bush pilot Don Johns went missing over the Alaska Triangle. So Don Johns was an experienced pilot, and he was flying the three men to Juneau from Anchorage for a rally for one of the congressmen.
Okay.
In Juneau for like a political rally. So the flight plan was known, and the flight took off at 9 a.m. The plane, what they know is it had about 1.5 miles of visibility.
Okay.
I don't know if that's good or not. I feel like that's probably okay.
That's pretty decent.
I don't know. I love how we're
seeing
like,
a mile away. That's pretty good
you
to
can
me.
see 1.5 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the plane never landed.
Oh.
And it triggered one of the largest ever search and rescue operations. So, it involved, the search and rescue operation involved 40 military aircrafts,
Okay.
50 civilian planes, and 39 days of searching an area of 32,000 square miles.
Oh my God.
It was massive.
Yeah.
Massive. And it was kind of confusing because one article said that commercial airlines, so there's a law that says how airlines need to have emergency notification signals that like goes out if something happens. One article said that because of this occurrence, they created this law.
Okay.
Another article said that right before, like in the time before this flight, Alaska had created that law so that commercial airlines had emergency notification signals. So there was some controversy whether or not the pilot and his plane complied with that law because there was no emergency signal that went off that they know of. But the FBI, according to the YouTube, this is the YouTube guy.
Okay.
The FBI didn't confirm either way whether or not the emergency signal went off. Like the story was kind of confusing.
Yeah.
And then some ham radio operators claimed that they heard an emergency distress call, but they couldn't pinpoint the location. They could like give you kind of whereabouts, but they couldn't really like narrow it down.
Yeah.
And so one theory that this video guy, like the YouTuber, shared was that the flight maybe landed in water, which would have explained the lack of emergency signal. But the FBI didn't seem to like think that was the case. Like nobody really confirmed.
Landed on the water or like crashed into the water.
Like crashed in the water.
Yeah.
But it was in the water. They were submerged, so it wouldn't have I guess wouldn't have gone off or would have died out or something like that. But they didn't really seem to like put much credence into that one. And then there was another theory that J. Edgar Hoover had actually caused the plane to go missing.
Oh.
Because of some disagreements in politics involving the FBI.
Yeah.
And because nothing really clear came out of this, so they thought Hoover was maybe involved. But that didn't ever seem to really, like, hold true. Like,
Okay.
that was never really substantiated. But if there's any conspiracy theorists out there, that could be a really good rabbit hole to go down.
Sure.
So despite some of these theories, there doesn't seem to be a clear, like, case of what happened.
So it just completely disappeared.
They literally, so at the
cannot find
end
it.
of the search, after the end of the 39 days, all men were declared dead and were never found.
And the plane wasn't found.
The plane was not found. Nothing was found. Nobody heard from them besides those few distress calls. They were flying Anchorage to Juneau. And if you look, like, at the triangle, in my opinion, it'd be more risky going from, like, Anchorage up to Barrow or Barrow to, like, going one of the, like, the angles versus, like, Anchorage to Juneau.
Yeah.
Mind you, I have not been to Alaska.
Right.
Or have been a pilot. So, I'm speaking with no authority whatsoever. But in my mind, it just seems like that's a pretty straightforward flight.
Yeah.
And it just disappeared. So that disappearance is what started this, like, idea that there's an Alaskan Triangle.
Okay.
Like,
and when was this again?
this was 1972.
72. Okay.
Now, mind you, other planes and things have disappeared before that. But I don't think any of them had the weight of 3 politicians.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you gotta have politics and to get involved.
Right.
Okay.
Fuck us normal people.
So there are numerous plane disappearances, boat disappearances, people disappearances. Like, I mean, so many. I couldn't do all of them. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of the big notable, like, plane disappearance. And similar with the Bermuda Triangle, which I've watched a lot of things on that. Like, people just up and vanish. Like, they're just not seen. And that's kind of what happened here. I mean, and if you think about it, for this case, 40 military aircraft, 50 civilian planes in 39 days of searching.
Yeah.
Like, that is massive.
Yeah.
And they would have known right away that the plane, like, they knew fairly quickly that the plane didn't make it. You know?
Yeah.
And they couldn't find them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, in addition to numerous plane passenger hiker disappearances, because I forgot to say this part, but you kind of mentioned it before, but a lot of the missing people are people that go hiking and are not prepared, or, like, just people walking in the woods that go missing.
Yeah.
But there's also alien stories.
Yeah.
Which I love because it's a little bit more uplifting than death. So one of the big stories that came up is the Japan Airlines Flight 1628.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
I hadn't either. Okay. So on November 17th, 1986, a Japanese flight basically played tag with UFOs over the Alaska Triangle, which I just think is so fun.
What do you mean played tag?
They basically just play tag. They're like,
Like, touched each other?
No. That's really funny. They got close. They touched each other. Did you touch it? Yeah.
Like they get like a bumper
That reminds
cars?
me of, do you remember in Finding Nemo when they're like,
touched the
he
butt."
touched the butt.
I saw this tweet and it was like somebody had tweeted, anybody else think Nemo's daddy's hot? And then somebody retweeted it and said, somebody get us a vaccine now. Spending too much time
On the thing.
Yeah.
But you have been doing a lot of those, like, is this guy hot?
Yes.
And none of them are. Ray Romano? No.
Ray Romano is hot.
No.
Yes.
No.
So all of the guys that I put on there, I think are hot.
No.
Yes. Lizzie's dad from Lizzie McGuire?
I mean, okay, let's rephrase this. I would say they're not hot, but I would say some of them were, like, good looking.
Yeah.
They weren't ugly.
Steve Buscemi?
Okay, Emily.
I love him.
No, I'm going to go with no. Every time I picture him, I just picture him as crazy eyes in Mr. Deeds, the out of Okay. We can discuss that in a side slice.
Yes,
Your
we can.
fascination with the weirdest men.
My Instagram poll series is called Hot or Not Daddies.
Follow Emily on Instagram. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Anyways, so Japan Airlines 1628 was flown by Captain Kenju Tarachi.
Okay.
Probably said that wrong, and I apologize. And somebody else, but I didn't really remember his name. This is like the worst research. Like, and somebody else. Okay. But this guy that was the guy that came up in the article.
Yeah.
All right, so Ken Joe, I'm going to call him Ken or Kenny.
Okay,
Kenny was an ex-fighter pilot, an experienced airline pilot with over 10,000 flight hours. Which seems like a lot.
Yeah. Side note, I'm applying for my certification to become an eating disorder specialist.
Ooh.
And
are you not already?
I mean, I pretty much am, but
not like officially.
not like officially. There's like a certification, and I have over just like the last year and a half have 1,800 direct hours.
Wow,
isn't that crazy?
That's a lot.
Yeah, so 10,000 is a lot.
10,000 is a lot. Yeah. Actually, that puts it in perspective. 10,000 is a lot.
Is a lot.
So he's very experienced. Like he's not like your newbie guy,
right?
All right. So the flight was flying from Paris to Reykjavik, the place in Iceland. Reykjavik, yeah. So Paris to Reykjavik to Anchorage to Tokyo.
Okay.
So.
Wait, why?
I don't know. That's like, I think maybe.
Paris to Tokyo?
No, it was from Paris to Reykjavik or whatever to Anchorage.
Okay.
Then from Anchorage to Tokyo.
So these were different flights.
Yeah, like this was.
It wasn't like a connector.
Yeah, no, this was like a scheduled thing.
I'm sorry, I was confused. I thought it was like.
I don't know.
Ignore me.
This is just the location.
Okay, I understand.
Okay,
yes.
He's flying a lot of places.
Okay.
Anyway, this is the part that involves Anchorage.
Okay.
As this is the Alaskan Triangle.
Okay.
All right, so at around 5:09 p.m., the plane was located about 104 miles from Fort Yukon, which I kind of forgot to look where that was, but I think it's somewhere in Alaska.
Yeah.
The flight controller called and for whatever reason asked the pilots to adjust their direction. Okay. So they moved about 15 degrees to the left. Like you do.
Sure.
Meanwhile, Kenny was sitting on the left side of the cockpit and saw unidentified, this is a quote, saw unidentified lights out his side window to the left and below.
Okay.
So he thought that they were just like military planes or like something, and he just ignored them, didn't really think about it much.
Yeah.
But then he noticed that they were like with him, like following with them, like pacing them. Okay. So then the plane contacted the Anchorage Control Center, which I guess like the plane center or whatever.
Yeah.
Twice, like in quick, like boom, boom, to see if there were any other crafts in the area. Like, because they were like, okay, we thought these were military flights, but they're like oddly not chasing, but like with us. And so then the control center confirmed that there's like no other flights in the area, in flight or nearby, whatever. So it was not anything that would have been registered.
Did it say how big it was?
Yeah, I'll get there.
Okay.
I think I get there. Guys, I told you I'm very sorry. My mind has not been in the right space. Okay. So they like hear like, okay, the flights are not anything that has been like registered with the air traffic people.
Right.
So then the two lights on the side begin to move like really erratically. And you guys can't see my hands, but I'm moving my hands like super erratically.
Think of like a laser show.
Yeah, like, yes, just go ahead and think that. So then the pilots tried to like evade the UFOs. Like they moved in circles. They asked if they could move lower. They did all of these things. But the other planes, I'm calling them UFOs. I'm calling them UFOs because for those of you that don't know, UFO means an unidentified flying object. And that's at this point what they are. So they are following them. They're just like any move that the plane makes, they're just following them. Basically playing tag.
Yeah.
So the craft was allegedly the size of 2 aircraft carriers, which is fucking huge.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
So then the control center offered to get a military plane up there, but I guess the pilots were like, no, because they didn't know how this like UFO would react to it or something like that. I don't know. So this was Captain Kenny's like recollection. This is a quote what he was saying.
Okay.
The distance from the lights was far enough from us and we felt no immediate danger. I thought perhaps it is a UFO. The lights were still moving strangely. Most unexpectedly, 2 spaceships appeared directly in front of the plane, shooting off lights. The inside cockpit shined brightly, and I felt the warmth of the UFO's thrusters on my face. Then 3 to 7 seconds later, the fire, like from jet engines, stopped and became a small circle of lights as they began to fly in level flight at the same speed as we were. The middle of the body of the ship sparked an occasional stream of lights, like charcoal fire. Its shape was a square, flying 500 feet to 1,000 feet in front of us, very slightly higher in altitude than us. Its size was about the same size as the body of a DC-8, which is similar in size to a Boeing 707. You okay?
Sorry, Barb's got into my Christmas decorations.
Oh, Barb! Okay, everybody, just pause for a
Sorry.
second. That silly Barb. She's all over the place.
I can't stand her. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
So this is what he's saying about like how the flights, like the things moved. All right. Then he continues by saying, it is impossible for any man-made machine to make a sudden appearance in front of a jumbo jet that is flying 910 kilometers per hour and to move along in a formation paralleling our aircraft. But we did not feel threatened or in danger. Honestly, we were simply astounded. I have no idea why they came so close to us. End quote.
Did they see any beans or just the craft? Like,
Did you say beans?
beans.
Beans. No, it sounds like no, they didn't.
Okay.
As far as like from this one article, they didn't.
Yeah.
So then finally, a United airline crosses paths with the Japan airline flights, and then the craft disappears. And they were about 150 miles away from Anchorage. I'm believing they were coming down to Anchorage, like through, like they were in the Alaskan Triangle.
Gotcha.
Okay. So then there was a guy who was in charge of accidents and incidents for...
Sounds like a terrible job.
I know, right? I'm sure there was like a better name for it, but that's just my shitty research name for it.
It probably is the name for it.
So he gets a call about it, and I guess the military refused to send their documents, so he called the Anchorage call center, and essentially they had recorded that a UFO was flying around at a crazy speed, that it was not a military craft.
Okay.
That they had it documented.
Yeah.
And when he said, like, why don't you tell this to people, whoever was like, we can't tell the American public that there's a UFO, they'll freak out.
Yeah.
That's like this one article, so I don't know how true that is. But I have heard that multiple times. Maybe that's just from the X-Files. Actually, maybe
I mean, I honestly think, like, they're, like, within reason, there's shit that they don't tell us.
Oh, for sure.
I want to talk to Obama. He'd tell me.
I don't think Obama would tell you.
I think he would.
No, you know who you need to get? You need to get a president who's, like, starting to get dementia.
Yeah, like...
Then they'll forget who
like
you
Jimmy
are.
Carter?
Yeah, and then they'll tell you. Obama's not going to say shit. He's young.
But he's, like, cool.
Yeah, but he's not going to tell you. I really don't think he will. I mean, if you can find Obama...
If I ever, talk to Obama, that probably won't be one of the things I ask.
Oh, I'm for sure... No, what are you going to ask Obama then?
I'm like, oh my god, I love you.
I'm going to be like, are there aliens? Tell me all the secrets. Did JFK get killed by a government conspiracy?
Oh, hundo.
You think? We need to do
We
it.
need
I
to
did
do that.
I did a whole paper on that, but I don't remember.
Lauren, my sister, when she was in college, she got to go to Disney World for a conference where she presented about JFK.
Maybe we need to have her as a guest star.
Yeah, she can tell us all about it.
All right, everybody, respond on our Instagram. What would you tell Obama if you saw it? What would you ask him? Okay.
And
anyway.
no mean comments.
Yeah, no mean comments,
I will
guys.
delete them.
We're not in that personal headspace right now.
This is an Obama-friendly zone.
Yeah. This is just a friendly zone where we just want to know all the conspiracies and theories about the world.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the end of that story. So you heard the story about the plane disappearing and the alien. Those are two of the major stories of the Alaskan Triangle.
Okay.
Like I said before many times, there are many more. There are hundreds of people that have gone missing and have died in the Alaskan Triangle. But I'm sure there's other theories that I don't know about. But And I wasn't in the headspace to research.
Oh, no, I
Those
think
were
this
the
is
two main
super
ones.
interesting. I never even heard of it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, it has a whole TV show. Like, there's a whole show on it. But I don't know that they, like... Theirs is more like, I think they get people that live in the area to tell stories about people they know that are missing or things that have happened. Mm-hmm. In all honesty, I didn't watch it because I've been rewatching Bones.
Dr. Bones.
Yeah. I love Bones. Okay, anyway. So, what are the theories about the Alaska Triangle, you asked,
What
Emily?
are the theories?
Okay, the first few are some fun ones.
Okay.
Do you want to guess what the first one is?
Aliens.
No.
Oh.
Well, that is one of them, but not this one that I'm going to say.
Okay.
A shape-shifting demon.
Oh.
Okay.
Cool.
So, in the stories of the Tlingit and Tsimshian Indians, indigenous to southeastern Alaska, the Kushtaka is the name of something, roughly translates to land otter man.
Oh.
And it's kind of like a Bigfoot, but not Bigfoot of Alaska, because Bigfoot is also a theory. But so legend has it that the creature appears to travelers in an irresistible form, such as a relative or vulnerable child.
Or John Stamos.
To lure victims to a nearby river where it tears them to shreds or turns them into another Kushtaka. So I think this one would be more about people that are like hiking and stuff that go missing.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily planes, but like if somebody were to just go missing out wherever, it would be because the Kushtaka turned into this like something irresistible.
Right.
Which makes sense. Like if you see a lost child on the side of a road.
I'm walking on.
Emily, that's bullshit. Okay. Anyway, so that's theory number 1.
Okay.
Theory number 2, aliens. All right, since 1998, there have been over 560 reported UFO sightings in the Alaska Triangle.
Wow.
1998. That's 22 years. Since the early 1940s, people have been reporting seeing UFOs to the FBI. And there's even record of a man named Pat Price that claimed aliens live in Mount Hayes, which I guess is in Alaska. And the aliens use thought control to control us.
They probably do.
And the aliens look very human-like. This is just what this one guy is saying. So he's like, so you never know. Even in 1947, there was a report of 2 military members reporting UFOs to the FBI, and it was sent to the FBI for investigation. So aliens are a very common theory for the Alaska Triangle because it would make sense. Planes go missing, ships go missing, people go missing without any explanation. Number 3, Bigfoot. So we still need to do an episode on Bigfoot.
Yeah, we do.
There are numerous reports of Bigfoot across Alaska, which could explain why people that are hiking or camping go missing.
Yeah.
Like you could research more into Bigfoot, but I feel like that's a thing.
That's a whole
other thing, but that's one of the theories of why people go missing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really explain the planes and ships and stuff.
Most Bigfoot's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like knocking planes out of the air.
I don't think they're that big. I don't know. I've never seen a Bigfoot. All right. The next one, and I'm pretty sure I quoted a lot of this because I just couldn't think of the other words, but it's an energy vortex. So it is postulated, which I definitely took that word because I didn't think of that one. It is postulated that the Alaskan Triangle is in the same location as what's called a vile vortex.
Ew.
I know, right? So vile vortices, or
Sounds
vortexes?
Right. Yeah, it's plural of vortex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are claimed to exhibit extreme electric, magnetic, and electromagnetic anomalies, as well as energy vortexes, called ley lines, which are theorized subterranean electromagnetic currents. Yeah, I definitely quoted all that. I did say that. Anyway, so that there's these vortexes.
Okay.
So other places that are thought to maybe have these vortexes or vortices are the Bermuda Triangle, Easter Island, Stonehenge, and the pyramids of Egypt. So the vortex can cause disturbance, affect perceptions, cause healing powers, and create visions. So there's lots of different things that support that the Alaska Triangle is one of these vortices. Because Alaska is covered with a large concentration of magnetic anomalies, some of which can disrupt compasses to the point that they are off as much as 30 degrees. Which is huge when you're like, when you need a compass for anything.
Yeah.
And if there's enough of a magnetic like pool, I mean, it would throw your whole sense of direction off.
Yeah.
So that that one kind of makes sense if it is really does have that much of a magnetic pull.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much the the magnetic pull can affect planes in the air and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely seen some I don't know if it's TV shows or YouTube where it can affect the a compass. So if you're a hiker or something,
mm-hmm.
it could totally throw you off, and then maybe that would be why you maybe starve to death or go lost or dead or something like that. So that's one. In addition, some search and rescue workers have reported auditory hallucinations, and feeling disoriented or lightheaded in the triangle because of what they're postulating is maybe because of the electromagnetic activity.
Yeah.
So if that really is a thing, maybe people that are hiking or camping there have been affected by whatever the magnetic pull is, and that could cause
Did you ever watch Lost?
Okay, I did not watch Lost. But I feel like I should, because a lot of the characters in Lost ended up on Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, it's the same people that did the show.
Yeah.
But the reason why their plane crashed was electromagnetism.
And are they all dead?
No.
Okay, we'll have to talk about this another day.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just watch
Maybe
the
I'll
show.
do a dark file on Lost.
Yes, let's do it. Can I do one on Once Upon a Time?
Lost was the first show that I got really nerdy about. It came on when I was in the 8th grade.
I think I was too... No, I was into Grey's Anatomy then.
Me
and
too.
Desperate Housewives.
Me too.
And then I stopped because then it got stupid. They both got stupid.
Yeah, I stopped watching Grey's after, spoiler alert, Derek died. That was 7 years ago. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh my god.
No. Let me rephrase that. No, I did know that.
Uh-huh.
But you hung on a long time.
Yeah, until Derek died. When he died, I was out.
Oh no, I booked it out years ago.
Yeah.
Before Izzy had sex with her ghost boyfriend Denny. That's when they all that shit happened. I'm I'm done. Anyway.
Yeah. The first couple seasons of that show though were so good. Of Grey's.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a couple more theories, guys. The next theory is that there is a secret pyramid built underground.
Definitely.
Literally, it was a couple sentences, and I kind of want to maybe research it and potentially do a dark file on it. Mm-hmm. But apparently there is a secret pyramid that has been built underground that somehow affects
How the fuck is a pyramid underground?
I don't know. But it's called the Black Pyramid.
Is it this big?
No. It's a whole pyramid. Apparently underground. All right. Now we're going to get to the more realistic things.
Boring theories.
Well, the one theory is kind of what I said before, as far as planes and ships and things like that, is maybe there is some sort of magnetic pull or something in the environment affects the your compass and things like that, which could fuck up where you're going.
Yeah.
Another common thing is that Alaska is a huge place and there's a lot of severe weather. So surprisingly, because of there are some warmer areas mixed with the cool, there's a lot of thunderstorms that happen and crazy weather that could attribute to either if you're hiking or camping and you're not prepared for it, or if you're something happens on a plane or a ship or things like that, you're not really prepared for the weather that Alaska has too.
You can pop that out. That reclines if you want.
Oh, it's okay. So that's one. But then, so the theory is so where are all of these people?
Yeah, where are the bodies?
Yeah. So glaciers seems to be a big theme that comes up. So it is commonly believed that people and things are buried in the glaciers. So while many people think of glaciers as a really thick, solid ice, there are actually many chambers. Think of it almost honeycomb or like a bee's thing with like all these little different chambers
Yeah.
that are large enough to store and conceal people, planes, boats, etc. Like, so it's not just a solid ice. There's all these little pockets that they think could be covering them, like, or hiding them. Then when you get enough other things to come on, like enough other snow or avalanche type things come on top of them, they're just like
I see.
hidden and you can't really find them, which makes honestly the most sense.
Are just glaciers everywhere? I thought they were only like in the water.
No, because they're I don't know the science of glaciers, but it makes it sound like there are a lot of different places. Yeah. Like, because it's like icy tundra.
I'm thinking of an iceberg.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of
the
icebergs.
Titanic.
Yeah, definitely not the Titanic.
Iceberg.
So a lot of times, it seems like a lot of times of the people that are going missing, despite being like super prepared or whatever, they're not prepared enough for the Alaskan wilderness.
Yeah.
And their bodies are probably just like under snow or other things as like animal attacks, maybe that they've been like, you know, attacked by an animal. Now the planes, the mysterious planes, because there's like a couple other reports of planes with like multiple passengers, like just going missing.
Yeah, that's harder to explain.
So I don't really know how to explain that, except for they came across bad weather or something else happened, and then where they crashed, they are just hidden and nobody could find them.
Yeah.
One of the other theories was like a serial killer, but that doesn't explain why Alaska has like
and boats.
Yeah, like the planes and boats and like the insane number of people that go missing from Alaska.
One time, I know Mount Everest is not in Alaska, but Karen and Georgia, I think it was Georgia, on My Favorite Murder, they did an episode about like all the people that try to climb Everest and like die.
I cried.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like it is like I'm sure it's similar in Alaska, but like the weather's terrible. There's like no light. It's dark.
Yeah,
it's like people think that I can do it. I'm like extreme enough that I can do it, and like no, you're not.
I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, guys, if I ever say that I'm with it enough to climb Mount Everest, fucking no. Tie my ass up. No way.
No.
I'm not. I would never say that anyway. I'm terrified to jump out of a plane. Like, my sister's gone skydiving.
Oh, she has?
While I think I'm pretty sure she has. Yeah. And while I think it sounds really cool, I wouldn't do it. Like, terrified.
Absolutely not.
Because if somebody's parachute wasn't going to go, it was going to be fucking mine. But anyway, so there's lots of different theories with the Alaska Triangle, kind of like with the Bermuda Triangle. Theories abound, but that's just a little taste of it. So if anybody knows more about the Alaska Triangle or wants to research it, go for it.
If you're from Alaska,
if you're from Alaska and you know somebody that's gone missing in the Triangle, that'd be bananas.
Yeah.
But that is it for the Alaska Triangle. Make sure you follow us on the Instagram. What do we have? What is our Instagram?
Dark Files Podcast.
Dark Files Podcast. You can email me at thedarkfilespodcast@gmail.com if you have any suggestions or questions or just want to say hi.
Yeah, always say hi.
We have a Twitter. We don't really do much on Twitter.
Yeah, I suck at the Twitter part.
Just follow us on Instagram.
Here's what I will say about being a podcaster. Is that it's hard. I gotta give props to podcasters who work full time and like also have like a very popular podcast.
Yeah.
Because our podcast is not that popular.
No.
And I feel like I'm always like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I like totally forget. So
yeah.
Mad props. I'm trying to be better about the social media game. I often forget.
I often forget as well. And then it's also really hard. And I know, like, I don't know why. I'm sure we knew this going in, but like the busier work gets or whatever to research stories. But it's so much fun when we do it. It's fun. Just like I give mad props, like you said, to all the people that are way more well researed.
Yes.
Than what we're pulling out of our ass.
Yep.
But we appreciate those of you that do listen because we really have a lot of fun. And hopefully now we're back. I mean, I'm back. Yeah. I'm good. And
it was like Thanksgiving. Like, it's
we just
cool.
we've been going. This will be episode 15.
And we didn't miss a week
14?
for a long.
Yeah, 14.
Yeah.
So make sure you check us out. And the best part about us, as we're going to self-promote ourselves, is that we currently don't have any ads. So you get to listen to this ad-free.
It's ad-free.
So there you go.
Yeah.
But don't worry, if we get enough people, we will probably put ads in to pay for
I forgot to Venmo
subscription.
you for...
That's okay. You can Venmo me later.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're super professional. Anyway, you can also follow us on Patreon. Donate as much or as little as you want.
And watch out for... Oh, sorry, Kasie.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Watch out for a vid of the McRib tasting.
Oh my God, I'm going to vomit.
McRib 2020.
McRib 2020. This would be the year to bring it back. Back in 2020. Anything goes in 2020. But yeah, guys. So, that's all I got.
Yep. So what do we say about the Alaskan Triangle?
Case
Closed.
closed-ish, maybe? I don't know. All right, bye, guys.
Bye.